Hey guys, welcome back. This is a great section. In this particular section, we're going to go deep into different type of templates that you have and how do they help us in terms of ease of administration of your devices. Basically, what templates allow us the ability to do is when you have multiple edges over here, rather than going and configuring each and every device manually, what I can do is I can create templates on vManage, which basically allow me the ability to do the same type of configuration or similar type of configuration on multiple devices at the same time. All right. What are these templates? Basically, templates allow us different general configuration that needs to be done from the command line. I'm going to do it graphically. I create a template over here, and then I apply the template to the device. Once I apply the template to the device, it gets all the configuration done from a central location. Understand something that we've done so far. We have not actually configured vEdge to be up and running. What we've done at this point is we have registered the vEdge in vManage, so the rest of the configuration can be done from vManage. Now, how do I do that? What are the different type of templates that I have? Let's take a look at that. Well, there are two main type of templates. There's a template known as a feature template. And there's another template called the device template. The feature template is the actual configurations. Device template basically collects a bunch of what? These feature templates and applies it to the device. So it's a collection of individual feature templates that are applied. Now keep one thing in mind, if I want to manage a device using templates, you cannot do half of it through templates and half of that through CLI. If I'm managing the device, it needs to be either done completely with templates or completely with your CLI. What we had done is some configuration on the interfaces. Even that configuration, including the system configuration we did for the skinny, that information also needs to be put into a template. When I apply it, I apply that information as well, basically overriding that information. So I cannot have the mindset that, oh, I've done this already from the CLI. Do I need to do it again? Yes, you do need to do it again. Because now what you're doing is you're taking the device, which is managed right now independently from the CLI, and taking it and doing it in a way that it's going to be all centrally managed by vManage. And that's where you need to create a template for each and every component that you have. Even the system components that we created, there's certain things that you can't change. Things like your the organization ID. There's small little things that you cannot change, but most of the other stuff you can change. All right. So again, two types. You have device and you have feature. These templates that you create are specific to a type of device. So you'll have a separate template for a vEdge and a separate template for a cEdge, for example. So you cannot use the same template on different type of devices. You can also create templates for vSmart, which are required for certain things that I'm going to be doing later on in the course called policies. vSmart templates are required. Again, in that, you'll see that later on. vManage creates policies which governs how traffic flows through your SD-WAN architecture, and it pushes the policies to vSmart, which in turn pushes it to all the vEdges. All right, we'll take a look at that. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at one more look at the feature templates, because feature templates is something that you need to have a better understanding of because you're going to be deploying it, at least an overview of it. We'll do different feature templates later on. Now, feature templates, when you create them, these are individual things that you're going to all collectively call inside the device template. The feature templates are of different types. Things like VPN. The configuration, or actually before VPN, remember the system config? So there's a template that will basically correlate to all the system characteristics that you want. So all the things that you need to do for the system need to be done under the system template. So it's categorized it. All right. So as I was saying, the system over here will have all the system characteristics. But the thing about the system is it's a single tier template. There are other templates like your VPN template. You guys remember when we configured the VPN? We had the VPN 0, for example, and then under the VPN, we had a whole bunch of different characteristics. When you create templates for the VPN, one template that you need to create is the template for creation of the VPN itself, which has very small number of configuration parameters. But then underneath the VPN, you will create what are known as VPN interfaces. So that's another template type that you will create, which is a VPN interface template type. And that basically becomes a sub template of this, of the VPN 0. So let's say you had VPN 0 with 2 interfaces like I will have over here. Let me show you. I have this guy having 2 outside interfaces. They will be in the transport VPN, which is a VPN 0. So in this case, my VPN 0 will have 2 interfaces. So what happens over here is you're going to have VPN 0 with VPN interface for gig E 0/0, and then you're going to have another interface template for gig E 0/1. So you're going to have 2 sub templates under the VPN 0 interface. I'll show you them as we configure it. I'm just giving you an overview at this point. The other thing is, let's say you want to run a routing protocol. Routing protocol would be another template that you would do, another characteristic that goes under a VPN template. So another routing protocol would be another template over here. So let's say you're running OSPF or you're running BGP, or in case of cEdge, you can run EdgeRP. All those become templates of the VPN 0 template. Just to give you an idea, what I've done for you guys is I've a small hierarchical chart where I forget about the device template. I'll show you in a second. See over here, I have a system template that has all the system characteristics. I can set some banners, which I want to deploy to all my devices. I can set them, all the parameters over here for that. Then under VPN 0, which is your basic global VPN configuration parameters, underneath there for VPN 0, for my vEdges, I have gig 0, gig 1, 2 interfaces, and I'm running some external routing protocol. So for example, for my branches, I'm running OSPF as my PEC protocol on one of the interfaces. So that's what I need to do the template over there for. VPN 512, that's your management interface, will generally only have one interface, which is going to be ETH0. VPN 1, which is your data VPN, this is going to be used by your actual internal corporate data users. This is called a service VPN. This is the number that we were talking about, 1 through 511 and 513 through 65K. That's the number of different VPNs that you can have. That VPN generally will have an inside interface and an internal routing protocol. And we'll do that. Once we create all these feature templates, then will be called under a device template. I'll tie all of these templates under the device template, and this device template is the one that I'll push down to your actual devices like vEdge 2, vEdge 3, and vEdge 4. Now you might say, well, if I'm creating a template, the interfaces have different IP addresses. The routing protocol might have different characteristics on the 2 different devices. That's absolutely okay, because when you create the template, you have 2 different ways you can set the parameters. You can either do global parameters. Global means this parameter will apply to all the different devices that are using this particular template, or you can do device specific. What device specific means that when you go to deploy the template on a particular device, it's going to ask you, for this particular device, what is the IP address that you want on gig 0/0? What is the IP address on gig 0/1? Those type of characteristics are called device specific characteristics, and you'll see all of that. I'm just giving you an overview so that you're prepared that you're going to be creating a whole bunch of different templates, and then you apply these templates to the devices. You might say it's a lot of work. I could do this easily through the CLI. If you're just doing a couple of devices, 3 devices, maybe you're right. But the thing is, you need to look at it from a scalability perspective. if I spell it right. From a scalability perspective, what you do is once you create the templates, yes, it's going to take you a lot more time upfront to do it. But then tomorrow a new device comes up, all you got to do is take this device template and push it down to the device. The entire device is configured in a matter of minutes. So it gives you a lot more scalability. Think about it like that. Let's say you're doing something on a large scale on the CLI-based system. Your commands, the amount of work that you'll do is probably going to go like this. Less work up front, and as you move on, it keeps on and then tapers off. With SD-WAN or any software-defined networking architecture, you do a lot more work up front because you create a lot of those reusable objects up front. But then what happens is on the long term, it goes like that. So the amount of work on the long term becomes a lot less. Up front, there's more work over here with SD-WAN or any type of SD architecture that you guys have. So yes, we'll be spending a little bit more time creating these templates, but once these templates are created, it makes life a lot easier to do it on a scale. And you guys will see that. All right. With that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual creation of these templates. So we'll do a whole bunch of different individual templates, create them, and then we'll start deploying it as part of our device template.